On this episode of My Swing Evolution, I'm going to take you through a Ben Hogan technique that's been very difficult for me to implement. But now, by combining it with my over-the-top miracle swing, I think I may have found another missing piece of the puzzle. Stay tuned. Good morning, Miracle Swingers. The hits keep coming. I went to the golf course yesterday and I worked on a technique and I was so fired up. I couldn't wait to get this video out to all of you guys, okay? So it is about the Hogan roll. I've talked about this. I said in the first Hogan code that it gives you an extra gear when you actually engage the rolling of the wrists. But the honest to God truth is, it's always been very difficult for me to feel comfortable turning the face away from the ball. I've always felt more comfortable keeping the face more square, like so the face is looking at the ball, so to speak. But there's some things that happened. It's like the universe pulls me in these different directions. It was first something from the Cesstones, and then I ran across another article. It refreshed my memory. And then all of a sudden I was thinking about the supination and the idea of hitchhiking your way to victory. And oh my gosh, so I finally decided, you know what? I'm going to tinker a little bit. I haven't tinkered very much since I've done the over-the-top miracle change. But my gosh, it added a gear. You've just got to watch the video. Now, guys, all of this is built upon what I changed in my transition, which is the over-the-top miracle. It's not only changed my swing, but it's changed thousands of golfers' swings around the world. I've never gotten so many messages, so I highly encourage you, check out the over-the-top miracle swing, or better yet, get MSE TV, which is going to have all my ongoing up-to-date research on the things that I'm discovering. Now, today you get the whole thing. This is a pretty long video, but if you'd like to support my channel, I'd love for you to get a membership to MSE TV. It makes a great gift for the holidays. Now, the next MSE Intensive, where I'm teaching this in person, is November 5th and 6th. So hit me up, Christo, at myswingevolution.com if you'd like to come to the next intensive or have personal private lessons. Now let's get into this revelation I had about the Hogan roll. All right, guys. So the way this all started for me was from a video that the Cesstones posted on their Instagram. The Cesstones are the Hogan family that teach down in Tampa that I'm very close with. And what they had mentioned was, what do you see in Ben Hogan's waggle? And what I saw was he is rolling the face open in the waggle. You can see it right there. So that was the thing that I thought was pretty remarkable. So as I move in for a close-up here, we can see, look at this. Mr. Hogan opens the face of the club as wide as he can on the waggle. And as we look at the swing itself, he does the same thing. So I'm going to take it back to about P2. And we can see here, even before P2, that that club face is basically wide open. And then that allows him to hinge up over the shoulder with the cup wrists. Now that wouldn't have been enough from the Cesstones, and then I saw this old article from Golf Digest when Mr. Hogan passed away. I roll the face of the club open away from the ball. That cups my left wrist. Training myself, I would roll the face open as fast and as far as I could. So that was another thing that was pushing me in this direction. Now, again, I've explored this, but I've just never been comfortable with it. Now, the next slide I'll show you is this. I rotate the club like a baseball bat, and the faster I can rotate it, the more distance I get. Hit the ball as hard as you can with both hands. So, as I've mentioned, this is unnatural for me, And I'll show you the video that brought this to my attention years ago. And I fooled around with it, but I had never stuck with it. But I believe now I might be sticking with it because it's all working together with everything else that I'm doing. So watch this video right here. This is the swing that really got me. I think we can see that Mr. Hogan is really opening that face on the backswing. It's like he's already got it toe back. I mean, he hasn't even hardly taken the club away. Now, if you'll pay attention to the hands for a moment, check out what he does with his hands. He starts rolling them right away. Now I'll do a super close-up just to give you another example of this. Yeah, he is rotating the face open from the get-go. So that's it. It all started from the waggle that I realized there might be something that I need to add to my swing that could make me a better golfer. And that's what my swing evolution is all about. So I'm going to take you to the golf course where I work on rolling the face open. I think I can still do it more, but I'm absolutely in shock, A, that I got it to work, and B, I actually started to feel like it may be the best way to hit the golf ball. Hey guys, so today I just got out to Altadena and I'm going to be working on something that Ben Hogan talked about that I've never been able to get comfortable with, and that's rolling the face of the club open on the takeaway and then rolling the face closed on the follow through. Now the curious thing is Ben Hogan said the faster he rolled his arms or his hands, the faster he could swing the golf club. And so it's something that I think is going to feel super unnatural to me. But he said controlling the face is folly, and to me opening the face and closing it is trying to control the face, so that's kind of confusing. But nonetheless, I think I'm going to give it a try. You know, my friends the Sestones have been posting on Instagram and they've been showing his waggle and how Hogan opens it up. And if you look at any of his swings in the majors, that driver, he gets that face open pretty quick on the backswing. But he still keeps the club head outside of his hands on the upswing. There's so many little tiny things about it. But I mean, hey, I got nothing else to do, so I'm gonna give it a try. So out of, I don't know if it's boredom or what, I just always have this desire to try things out and see if they work, basically. And as you guys know from the Hogan code, the original Hogan code, I talked about supination being a new gear, an added gear into the swing, because there's lateral forces, rotational forces, vertical forces through the legs, and then supination is another force that you can apply to the club head to create speed. Now, it's not my natural inclination. My natural inclination is to keep everything, you know, very square to the ball and kind of hood the club. But I'm going to try and roll the face and see how it goes. So, to be honest with you, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to make impact with that ball right here, because I've been so committed to not rolling it. Here you can see me feeling toe up is the drill. Toe up on the backside, toe up on the follow through, to just get me into this feeling a little bit. So again, I'm almost surprised I can make contact. It feels so foreign at this moment. But right here, I'm starting to realize, wait a second, I can actually feel some compression with this. Everything else in my over-the-top swing is the same. Deep into my right heel, hands inside and up, but I'm just adding the wrist roll. And that was a miss. Yeah, still kind of trying to find it through my legs. Now I'm using some baseball swings because that's what Hogan described it as. Is in baseball you would roll it. So by picking the plane up, I'm giving that a shot. And there was one that was promising. Now, one thing that you'll notice when I set up to the ball is I'm trying to let the club sit open a little bit. Okay, here I feel like I compressed that one for sure. So now I feel I'm starting to get in sync with my weight transfer, the top of the backswing, letting the arms roll back and forth.
So I'm surprised. I'm making some pretty solid contact on it. I almost feel like I've got more down on the ball, like with, you know, my hands a little farther forward when I'm making impact.
So that one felt pretty good. Now I'm starting to get how to transition into my lead side. At first, the timing of the roll back and through felt disconnected to my leg work, but once I got them working together, all of a sudden I started to feel something different in my delivery. You can also hear the impact beginning to improve. And I'm going to change the camera angle a little bit. Once again, toe up into the cup, and then over the shoulder, down across my body. So now I'm starting to feel that nice thump.
One thing I've noticed is I've got a higher ball flight, which is one of the things Hogan told Larry Nelson when he cocks his wrists earlier, he hits the ball higher. So I'm going to switch to a 9-iron.
So here I think I've switched to my 9-iron. So at first I wasn't getting my normal distance out of these clubs, but as I start to get more comfortable feeling that roll down, I start to get some excellent compression that was actually easier to create.
Guys, I am starting to feel this a little bit, and it's it's funky. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to hit the ball, and I'm actually hitting it pretty well.
Okay, now we switch back up to the front. You'll see that my right arm is higher than my left. So I'm really getting into my Hogan stance here. So I'm starting to feel all the pieces come together at this point. Now once I get here, I start to add a little bit of speed because I'm beginning to feel that slamming door kind of flat delivery into the ball. And I was afraid that I wouldn't be able to control the club face. You know, there's this kind of a fear of letting go. And, you know, Ben Hogan said trying to control the face is folly. So it was difficult for me to just allow the face to rotate open and then to rotate closed. But if you think about the design of a golf club, because the weight is that the face is built out, the toe wants to swing open and closed. Just like if you look at, you know, a toe hang putter. A toe hang putter wants to swing open and then swing closed. Okay, so golf clubs aren't designed face balanced, they're toe hang. So to try and keep the face square the way I have most of my swing evolution is actually fighting the natural rotation that the club wants to do naturally. Well, here I'm really starting to feel it. Time for some agua. This is an interesting view I don't show too often. I think we can see that I'm making clean, flat contact, that kind of square contact that is enjoyable. So here I'm trying to make sure I know where my legs are underneath me as I rotate and press out of my lead leg. So these little swings down the line are helpful. That was a nice swing right there. So it's nice to have these shots down the line. And my last ball with my iron before I switch my driver is solid. So this is so encouraging. Now, I wasn't sure if I'd be able to transfer it to driver, but check this out. Guys, stay tuned for the next episode because when I start doing this with the driver, I start wailing on it. So hit them long and hit them straight.
Are you ready to experience your very own miracle? Christo Garcia, the man who swung as Ben Hogan on the Golf Channel's special Hogan, has created the most controversial and effective golf training program in history.
The old PGA pros, they had this much simpler kind of wisdom. That's what I'm talking about, my friend.
What made the most sense was learning how to put leverage on the shaft.
It's a miracle.
That's the OTT.
Do you have a burning desire to get better at golf?
Like that.
Are you frustrated by overcomplicated modern golf instruction? Well, your prayers have been answered.
Now's your chance to learn the over-the-top miracle swing. Only at myswingevolution.com.